Interpret.
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 All right, come on. Let's don't beat it to death.
Interpret.
Or explain the laws.
Or explain.
Congress passes a law, the president enforces it then. We can say that too.
Yeah.
Enforces the law.
Did he get to them? Oh, shit. I'm lost now.
Now, we talk about the judicial branch and we talk about the Supreme Court. That's not the only thing in the judicial branch that we're going to talk about in this section. There's the United States District Courts. There's the United States Courts of Appeal.
Appellate court.
And we'll get to that down here. Once again, these guys can be impeached too. Supreme Court justice couldn't be impeached through the process we just went through. Supreme Court buildings in Washington, D.C. Supreme Court is the highest, most important court in the United States.
Supreme Court?
Doggone antennas don't work right. I got this off Curtis's car.
The reason it doesn't work right is because I don't have a car.
The Constitution spells out what kind of cases in the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court, highest court.
And what the powers of the Supreme Court are. And because we just talked about the Constitution provides for lower courts, lower than the Supreme Court. We're talking federal courts now too.
What's judicial? What's judicial?
Interpret or explain the laws.
The Supreme Court is made of 9 justices. They usually call them justices, but they are judges. They are judges, but they're called Supreme Court justices. There are 8 associate and 1 chief. 8 associate justices and 1 chief justice.
What number is that? Oh,
4.
Number 4. Number 4.
What he said?
Look at the title of men and women in the Supreme Court. They call what? Supreme Court judges.
You can say on number 4, you can say what are the titles? They're justices.
Justices.
How many serve in the High Court? 9.
9.
And they serve for life.
They serve for life. If they
Unless
they can die. They can die while
Justices in what?
unless they
This
are
justice.
removed or retire. They can retire. Now, Sandra Day O'Connor retired a few years back. Most of them retire after a certain period of time.
How many serves? 9.
They cannot be removed except by impeachment. So the process where you go to the House of Representatives and over to the Senate and all that applies to the Supreme Court justices, the District Court justices, or anyone else in that position, those positions.
What?
When deciding a case, only 5 of the 9 must agree. That's the majority decision. 5 of 9, at least 5 of 9. Salaries cannot be lowered during their tenure of office. When you have a big money crunch, Supreme Court salaries cannot be lowered while they're in office. Now, you can start some of you guys, say you retire after 50 years, you can start a new guy off in that at a lower salary.
When can a teacher retire? After how many years?
What's that?
When can a teacher retire?
When can a teacher retire? From what, Clark County?
Yeah.
There's 91 district.
I think they've got 10-year retirements, I think. 10, 20-year retirements. Is that what you want to be as a teacher?
Hell, I ain't being no dip. Hell no, I ain't got the patience for no one's kids.
I know you feel like you want to kill them. I thought you want to strangle them to the brink of death. Bring them back. Strangle them again.
what you trying to say, Mr.
No, 5th graders are like that. 8th graders are too. 6th and 7th, I taught 6th, 7th, and 8th grade off and on too.
High school.
6th and 7th grade, huh?
High school kids are the worst.
Yeah. Where'd you go to junior high? Huh?
Woodbury.
Oh, Woodbury. I subbed for 2 years too. I may have been one of your substitutes. But I taught at Our Lady of Las Vegas Catholic School.
is Las Vegas. She's got the little thing with for the
The
balancing
justice.
bars on a paradise. Our Lady of Las Vegas. Roll the dice. Let's see where you end up.
All right. The salaries of justice cannot be lowered during the time in office. With these checks and balances, the judicial branch is free from interference by other branches. I was certified to teach in Clark County for a while, and they told us you can't hit these kids. Well, you can't. But what you do if they get wild, like over at Robeson Middle School too. You grab them, they're getting violent, you grab them like this, and drop them down to the ground gently. However, you can't hit them. Right here, you give them a little push. And their heads go boom.
Trumbull is crazy.
You know, I student taught under Rick Macias over at Robeson Middle School, social studies and biology. And this was back in 2000, or 1999. He said, we teachers lost it. He'd been there 25 years in the year 2000. The same school teaching the same thing. He said, we lost it as teachers, and we took the paddle from us. He said, no more corporal punishment, we lost it. How many people in here have been paddled in school?
From my mama.
Then if you get paddled in school and gets home, your mama paddles.
Board with holes in it.
That's right. Oakwood.
Oakwood with holes that suck.
Cut down on the resistance.
When you here's the thing: when they warned you, you're gonna get paddled the next day. You wore like 3 or 4 pair of pants.
That's crazy, man.
What's the job? That's an interpreter?
Mr. Trimble, what is the job of the judicial branch to interpret or explain the laws? Okay. So judicial for the definition would be the same thing?
That's right. Judicial is the
Actually, the judicial would be the court. It is a court, Supreme Court.
Courts. Okay.
court system.
Court system is judicial.
That's the definition? Court system is the definition?
Well, if it's the judicial, it is the court system. That means judicial. Now, what it does is interprets the laws.
So the definition for the appeal would be,
in my opinion, would be determine the legality of a case decision, not the trial process.
He jumping everywhere. Okay, so appeal is what now?
where's
Appeal
that?
determines the legality. When you go to an appellate court, they don't judge whether or not you're guilty or innocent. They judge whether or not the judge in the case followed the law.
Okay. So appeal if the judge followed the law?
Yeah. Say you're convicted of a crime. Say a federal district court or a municipal court in the state level.
Judge Mathis.
Like the results.
That's my nigga. I love Judge Mathis.
Play one on TV.
Have them look at the whole process.
What's his name?
The judge
does the commercial.
implicitly.
He was getting ready to touch the airplane. The guy got his hand. He said, "It's okay. I've done this before on TV." I played and I piloted on.
All right. So the judicial branch is
I'm so lost.
separate from the other ones. They have specific jobs. They have their own agenda. They're not being interfered with by other the legislative or executive branch.
Oh, I hope it's not me.
Rebecca.
No.
No, she's not here.
Not here.
What's that?
Ooh, so she was coming from me.
No. Yep.
That gets me to come and say, is Joe in here?
Joe
I'm gonna
Schmo.
give him a little more info. All right. There are several other court systems under the Supreme Court. The lowest federal courts under the judicial system are the district courts. Those are trial courts at the federal level.
91.
District courts at the federal level are trial courts. And there are 91 of them in the United States. I'm sure we have one. We do have one here.
I did tell you some stuff about
What's that?
A district court. I don't know. I mean, I know, but do we have a federal district court here? I'm sure we do.
Yes, we do.
Lemons.
It's our appellate court that we don't have.
We don't have an appellate court, no.
No.
After the case has been heard in a district court, it moves to the United States Court of Appeal. It can be appealed if you don't approve or you don't like what the results were.
Ninth Circuit?
You can say, go up to the, what is it, 9th Circuit or 8th Circuit, whatever it may be.
Ours is Ninth Circuit.
Nice, okay, and then they'll
Which y'all
double
know.
check. They don't look at the facts. They look at the overall situation, how it operated, what the judge did, what kind of decisions he made. The facts are already there. The facts are already presented. He looks at how the thing was presented throughout the case. After a case has been heard in the district court, it moves to the United States Court of Appeal. It is here where a case can be appealed or heard a second time. To reverse the original judgment, you might want to put that in there. An appeal court where it can be heard a second time to reverse the original judgment. There are 12 appeals courts. There's actually a 13th that's for special cases, but just put 12 down from that time.
Which one is it? Which number is it?
No, he said write it down.
Oh,
What is that?
yeah, down 7, I think.
What is that?
There are 91 district courts and
12
12 courts of appeal.
And 12 courts.
So the other two would be named other courts that are part of the
I'm done.
federal
Can't- I
jurisdiction
can't
would be the
concentrate
district courts and the
Well,
appeals
you can
courts.
say down here, I can't appeal.
And they
There are special
use
courts
those
that are
like-
outside the realm of just regular cases. You have the United, let's see, Court of Military Appeals, Tax Court, Claims Court. Those are some more, put all 3 of them down.
Claims court too?
Claims Court.
Military, tax court, claims court.
Small claims court.
Military tax and claims.
Court of Appeals.
More tax, but you got claims.
But we'll get into more specifics later on if we get more into this. But a case can be, say you're tried in a federal district court. You could appeal that to a circuit court of appeals, also called a circuit court, the Court of Appeals. If you don't like that decision, you can appeal it to the U.S. Supreme Court, the writ of certiorari.